If you walk down Fifth Avenue or through the city of London, the names of the world's financial titans are impossible to miss. They are etched in granite and lit by neon. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, BlackRock. But the most powerful money in the world doesn't use a logo. It doesn't have a retail branch, and it never advertises on television. It operates behind unmarked doors in secondary cities and residential penthouses. It's a shadow financial system managing an estimated $4.3 trillion. That is more than the entire global hedge fund industry. It is the personal central bank of the 0.1%. It is called the family office. While you are watching the ticker on CNBC, these private institutions are quietly acquiring the world's farmland, its tech startups, and its historic legacies, all while remaining legally invisible to the public eye. But how did we get here? And why is the world's elite suddenly pulling their money out of the banks and into these private fortresses? To understand that, we have to look at a secret that began in 1882. In the late 19th century, John D. Rockefeller faced a problem that most people couldn't conceive of. He was becoming wealthier than the institutions meant to hold his money. By the time Standard Oil was broken up, Rockefeller's net worth represented nearly 1.5% of the entire U.S. economy. He realized that a standard bank was a middleman he no longer needed. In 1882, he formalized Rockefeller Capital Management, the first modern single-family office, or SFO. To the ultra-wealthy, a family office isn't just a convenience. It's an act of sovereignty. Imagine a company where the only client is you. The investment team doesn't care about quarterly benchmarks. They care about the next 80 years. The legal team doesn't just review contracts. They structure your life so that you own nothing, but control everything. Take Cascade Investment. Most people know Bill Gates from Microsoft, but his true wealth engine is his family office. Managed for decades by Michael Larson, Cascade allowed Gates to diversify away from tech and into the largest private holding of farmland in America, over 270,000 acres. Why farmland? Because a family office doesn't play the hot hand. They play the long hand. While the retail investor is panicking over a 2% dip in the Nasdaq, the family office is collecting assets that have survived for 1,000 years. But this autonomy creates a massive ripple effect in the global economy, one that the regulators are only just starting to notice. In the world of quiet wealth, there is a fundamental shift in psychology. Most people focus on wealth creation. The 0.1% focus on wealth defense. This is where the family office becomes a weapon. According to the 2023 Campton Wealth Report, the average family office now allocates roughly 27% of its portfolio to private equity. They are no longer just buying stocks. They are buying the companies themselves. Consider Michael Dell's MSD Capital. It isn't a hedge fund. It is Michael Dell's money. Because he doesn't have outside investors to answer to, he can move with a speed and secrecy that would be impossible for a public firm. He can buy a skyscraper or a tech company in a Friday afternoon meeting without a single press release. This is the shadow market. When these offices buy assets directly, they bypass the fees of Wall Street and the scrutiny of the SEC. But there is a darker side to this secrecy. Because many family offices are exempt from the Investment Advisors Act of 1940, they operate in a regulatory blind spot. In 2021, the world got a terrifying glimpse of what happens when a family office goes wrong. Archegos Capital Management, the family office of Bill Hwang, used complex derivatives called total return swaps to hide massive, leveraged bets. When those bets turned, it triggered a $10 billion loss for global banks and a $20 billion liquidation. It was a private problem that nearly broke the public system. The question became, how many more Archegos-sized time bombs are hidden behind these unmarked doors? To understand the scale, we have to look at the numbers. There are now over 10,000 family offices globally, a 38% increase since 2017. Together, they control more capital than the entire private equity industry. Yet, we know less about them than we do about the CIA's budget. They are the invisible gatekeepers. In the United States, if you manage more than $110 million for other people, you must register with the SEC. But if you manage $100 billion for yourself, like the Walton family does through Walton Enterprises, you are largely exempt. This allows for dynastic investing. The Waltons don't just own Walmart. They own banks, newspapers, and vast swaths of the Ozarks. Through their family office, they have engineered a governance structure that ensures the family's influence over the American retail landscape is permanent. They use grantor-retained annuity trusts, GRATs, to move billions to heirs without triggering gift or estate taxes, a practice that is perfectly legal, yet rarely accessible to the average professional. It is a system built by the elite, for the elite, to ensure that wealth never leaves the family tree. But there is one thing even a $100 billion office cannot control: the people inside the fortress. There is a phenomenon that haunts every family office founder. In the US, it's called shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves in 3 generations. In Japan, it's the 3rd generation ruins the house. Statistically, 70% of wealthy families lose their fortune by the 2nd generation. 90% lose it by the 3rd. The family office is the ultimate engineering solution to this human failure. It isn't just about managing money, it's about family governance. They create internal venture funds, where heirs must pitch business ideas to a board of professional advisors to get a loan. They mandate family assemblies, where grandchildren are taught the psychology of the legacy before they are given their first dividend. They are essentially brainwashing the next generation into becoming stewards rather than spenders. Take the Mars family. Behind the candy empire is a family office that has enforced a culture of extreme privacy and frugality for over a century. There are no celebrity Mars heirs. There are no public scandals. There is only the system. By professionalizing the family, they have effectively deleted the human element of greed and replaced it with a corporate mandate for perpetuity. We live in an era that rewards the loud. We are told that to be successful is to be seen. But the family office tells a different story. It tells us that the ultimate form of power is not found in fame, or in a verified badge, or in a skyscraper with your name on it. The ultimate power is autonomy, the ability to move the world without the world knowing your name. To build a fortress so quiet and so robust that it can withstand the rise and fall of empires. Because at the highest levels of the game, the rules are different. The winners don't post. They don't brag. And they certainly don't shout. Real wealth doesn't need to be seen to be felt. Real wealth whispers. If you want to understand the systems that truly run our world, you belong here. Subscribe to Quietly Wealthy and join a community of professionals who know that the best moves are the ones nobody sees coming.